Welcome to SnowMotion. Hi, I'm Brenda Buglione, coming to you from the top of beautiful Beaver Creek Resort in Colorado, overlooking the slopes of world-class skiing. In this week's episode, we talk cycling with Tour de France winner and Olympic gold medalist Jan Ullrich. Then, in my latest ski tip, we pick up our ski poles to help us face down the mountain. And then we're going to check out an exciting new ski film about the history of the U.S. Army ski troops and the roots of Colorado skiing. You're watching SnowMotion.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, or climbing up that coconut tree? If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easier?
Remember what it's like to forget everything but the moment. Rediscover the birthplace of all. Rediscover Vail like nothing on earth.
The best in the world.
All it takes are a few perfect runs.
This is what gold medals are made of.
These are our podiums to protect.
This is what we live for.
Best in the world.
SnowMotion is brought to you by Vail, like nothing on earth, and by the Stedman Clinic, keeping people active. Jan Ullrich is one of the best cyclists of his time. In 1997, he was the first German to win the most prestigious international bike race, the Tour de France. When Jan is not climbing mountains on his bike, he's skiing down them. On their recent visit to Vail, Colorado, I had a chance to catch up with Jan and his wife, Sarah. Today's SnowMotion chairlift interview is with Jan and Sarah Ullrich. What a treat. We have bikers here in Vail, Colorado.
Yeah, I like the sport, and I have a lot of friends here, and yeah.
Okay, you need to tell me how many Tour de France's you have won and world champions on the bike.
Oh, I win one Tour de France in 1997, and the Olympic Games in Sydney, gold medal in road race is 2000, and 5 times second in the Tour de France, and world champion 3 times world champion. Yeah, a lot of races.
Lots of medals. Sarah, are you a biker?
No, just for fun.
Just for
I like
fun.
to do it, but not professionally or nothing. No.
Are you still racing?
No, I like it. I like to ride with my bike, but no race more. No pressure, no race, only for fun.
What is your best event on the bike?
Well, the important event is the Tour de France. It's a big races over 3 weeks, and yeah, very heavy. The Alps and the Pyrenees you have inside, and a lot of long races. Tour de Suisse in Switzerland is 10 days long, and I like this race. Is for my favorite.
And all those mountain passes and the hours, how many hours? 6, 8 hours a day on your bike. How did you do that? How was it more mental than physical? I mean, you had to be so strong.
Yeah, for me it's easy. I start with, when I come, it was nine years, and the trainings intensity come every year a little bit higher, and then you need a lot of years training, and the races, hard races, and big talent, and a good head, and a good body, and yeah, good luck, and then you can make this.
You can make it. How painful was it? Did you ever have time where you think you couldn't pedal on? And
Yeah, when you have a good condition, good in shape, then the pain is every day, but not so strong. When the shape is not so good, then you have every kilometer a lot of pain, and this is not easy. But in the Tour de France, I have a good condition and good in shape, and yeah, you're fighting every day as long you say 6-8 hours one day, and it's a lot of kilometers, and yeah, it's the hardest race in the world.
Yeah, the hardest race in the world, and you did it how many times?
8 times.
8 times.
Yeah. 5 times second and 1 win. Yes.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You must be a good cheerleader because, and all the support you've given him.
Yeah, you know, the cyclists, they have to do a lot of training and they're gone for a long time. But we only got married when Jan already stopped, so
that's
we
got
more time to spend
good
together.
decision. Are you going to raise little bikers?
We have 3 kids, yeah, 3 boys. They're 2, 4, and 7 years old now. And yeah, they know how to ride a bike, but so far, no racer. They have fun in all the sports, soccer and skiing. And
the favorite sport for the guys is soccer. Soccer sport.
Yeah, I think that's a universal. So, what is the future of bike racing in terms of being a healthy sport, no doping? Is it still in the sport, or do you feel like it's going to change and be a clean sport? It's a tough question.
It's a tough question. I stopped 9 years ago, and it's the other generation now. I think cycling is on a good way in the moment, and I hope, the future is a good cycling, no doping, and good sports.
You have a hurt shoulder. How did you do this?
Yeah, I broke my shoulder. I have a ski crash 2 weeks ago in Austria, in Sölden. And yeah, I lose one ski and I crash. I feel to my shoulders and broken. And the unbelievable is, yeah, I have so many crashes in cycling, but never broken in my career, cycling career. And now I go to skiing and broke the shoulders. Yeah. Hopefully
you'll heal and go back to skiing because it's such a fun sport.
Yeah, unbelievable. I like this sport. It's an outdoor sport. I like the beautiful countries, the beautiful mountain and the snow and all this. And yeah, I'm not a good ski rider, ski racer, but I'm in the training, you know. After my shoulder, when it come good, I start again.
So you have to watch SnowMotion, and on every show there's a ski tip. I do a ski tip. You'll have to pay attention, and it will help your skiing.
Okay.
So are you a skier, Sarah?
Yeah, I grew up in the mountains, so I got on my skis when I was 3 years old. So I'm not a racer, but I love to ski. I love to be outdoor or do some party skiing. So yeah, I'm gonna go on the skis tomorrow for sure.
Oh, good. And leave Jan at the bottom of the race.
Yes, I have to.
So, are there lots of young kids going into the sport of bike racing?
Yeah, I think cycling is a big sport. It's a great sport. I like it, and I watch on TV every time when I have time. And I like the sport, and I hope it's a lot of kids start with this sport.
We are getting to the top of the lift, and I know you can't ski, so we're going to pull the bar up and run off. But what a treat to have both of you on the chairlift with us. No, don't crash, don't hurt yourself running. And you've done so much for the sport of cycling, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We just skied into Saddle Ridge Restaurant here on Beaver Creek Mountain to enjoy a wonderful lunch. The collection of American and Indian artifacts makes you feel like you're dining in the Old West. Now don't go away, because when we come back, I'm going to give you a ski tip about holding your poles the wrong way to help you ski the right way.
Cobell, toast life.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better. They're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way.
Cobell, toast life.
For more SnowMotion action, chairlift interviews, and my ski tips, visit my website at snow-motion.com. For today's ski tip, we're going to do a drill. This is one of my favorites because it gives you instant feedback if your body's facing down the hill or if it's facing the woods on the side of the trail. We want our body to face down the hill when we're skiing. So we're going to hold our ski poles, open up your hands and face them down the hill. A lot of skiers use their upper bodies to turn their skis. So I'm going to make turns and try to keep my poles facing forward versus having them face this side and that side. The reason I like this tip so much is that it forces you to work and use your lower body to turn the ski versus using your upper body to turn the ski. You want to keep this upper body facing forward and quiet. I hold the poles out in front of me. I know that I'm rotating my upper body when the poles face the sides of the slopes. What I want to do is have them facing down the hill and use my upper body to come up and down. It's amazing how much we rely on our pole plant to get us up and forward and to pressure the ski. So here we don't have a pole plant. So it makes us really work our lower body to carve turns and at the same time keep our upper body facing down the hill. So remember, pressure that ski with your lower body, keep the angles going, and your upper body facing down the hill. In the early 1940s, not far from where I'm standing today, the U.S. Army formed a new military unit to train for mountain combat.
I was a barmaid in the mountain inn. 'Twas there I learned the wages, the misery of sin. Along came a skier, fresh from off the slope, and he's the one that ruined me and shattered all my hope. Singing 90 pounds of rucksack, a pound of grub or two, and he'll shush the mountain like his daddy used to do. Now early in the morning, before the break of day, he handed me a 5-note, and with it he did say, "Oh, take this, my darling, for the damage I have done. You may have a daughter, you may have a son. No, if you have a daughter, bounce her on your knee. And if you have a son, send the bastard out to ski. Singing 90 pounds of rucksack, a pound of grub or two, and he'll shush the mountain like his daddy used to do."
Are you a skier? Are you a mountain climber? Do you enjoy the great outdoors and have a passion for nature? The U.S. Army needs your help in training skiers and climbers for a new division of tactical specialists. These skills are necessary in the landscape of today's global war. The Army wants to hear from you.
On November 15, 1941, just 3 weeks before the tragedy at Pearl Harbor, the 87th Infantry Mountain Regiment was activated. Dubbed the 10th Mountain Division, these men made up the first mountain regiment in United States military history.
Skiing was a big thing in the Midwest and the East. And I went to the university, started the University of Pittsburgh, and they had a ski club, so I joined the ski club. One morning I went into work, and Dr. Jensen, he said, "The Army is starting a new unit. It's mountain troops, and skiing is the basis of the whole thing." Next thing I knew, I was on a troop train headed west.
On the outskirts of Leadville, Colorado, sat Camp Hale, the training center for the 10th Mountain Division. At an elevation of 10,000 feet above sea level, Camp Hale provided the rigorous training conditions needed to get the men of the 10th in shape to handle the terrain overseas.
We had A and B slopes down at Camp Hale. They were small slopes. We would pack up our rucksacks and hike from Camp Hale up to Cooper Hill and then bivouac out in the area, and they had a T-bar lift then. It's the same poles that are used now for the chairlift they have, and we did our training there.
Ski Cooper, as it's now known, has a rich history as both a destination ski resort and historical landmark. Now, 75 years later, the Icelandic athletes ride the same rope tow, gaze upon the same landscape, trying to imagine what it was like for the brave young men of the 10th.
And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He is the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a tootly-out, a toot, he blows an 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the basic guitar is playing with them. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He is the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was so boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Military skiing was a lot different than recreational skiing. We had started skiing with a rucksack on your back and a rifle.
And they were carrying anywhere from 70 to 120 pounds, generally around 90s. But that's a lot of weight to carry.
You know, all the equipment was cool. The poles are really just so streamlined and technical for that era.
You know, going from not skiing to learning how to ski, especially on those long skis with no edges and the boots that they had. These guys are rocking layers of wool, cotton gear.
I was a barmaid in a mountain inn. There I learned the wages and miseries of sin. Long came a skier from fresh off the slopes. He's the one that ruined me and shattered all my hopes. 90 pounds of rucksack, a pound of rubber too. Discuss the mountain like his daddy used to do.
We skinned up to about 11,000 feet, and there's a couple old cabins up there, and it kind of just brings you back to trying to live out in the middle of nowhere.
And then here we are today, sitting in the same cabin, and we're still pointing out those same lines that we could ski.
Following a day of learning about the training grounds and the equipment used by the men of the 10th, the Icelandic athletes headed out for a day of skiing in the White River National Forest to perceive the monumental backcountry that was once explored by the tenacious soldiers.
Stick around. After the break, we'll learn more about the history of the 10th Mountain Division and the continuing influence on skiing today.
Movement is life. It is the joyous wiggles of a newborn child, the grace of dance, a quiet stroll in the twilight of our years. Movement is freedom, exhilaration, independence. Movement is progress, relentlessly seeking solutions. At the Stedman Clinic and the Stedman Philippon Research Institute, movement means science finding cures and medicine enhancing lives. At SPRY, it is science unsatisfied with the status quo, science discovering life-changing answers. At the Stedman Clinic, it is unsurpassed orthopedic care for the world's greatest athletes and everyone. Movement is our mission.
This winter,
Experience the sophisticated allure of Beaver Creek's intimate alpine village, where you're free to focus on nothing other than creating incredible moments together. Revel in the special touches that set Beaver Creek apart from all other resorts. Experience the refined side of winter.
SnowMotion is brought to you by Surefoot, better fitting, better skiing. And by Bogner, the luxury of sport. Welcome back to SnowMotion. Now we return to Icelandic Ski's short film, Mountain Infantry.
The division was very well trained for maneuvering and surviving at altitude and trying to develop systems of fighting that would work in combat.
So they had an exercise which was called the D series, which was a 6 weeks in the middle of winter simulated combat. We lost a number of people. We lost some to frostbite. We had ski accidents, and we had some cases of pneumonia.
I came to the conclusion they were trying to kill us.
The 10th Mountain Division deployed for combat in Italy in January of 1945. Although missions were considered successful, heavy losses were suffered. Following Germany's surrender in Italy in May 1945, the 10th Mountain Division returned home and the infantry unit was disassembled. Although no longer a combat unit, the men used their knowledge of terrain, weather conditions, and equipment available at the time to influence what would become a multi-billion-dollar ski industry stateside.
I think them coming back to the United States after having some intense experiences like that, they went straight to the mountains and straight to developing ski resorts and back to nature, returned to it.
I just still had that yearning to get back into the mountains of Colorado.
Oh, heavy road, I can't pick you up. Walk you to the mountains. Oh, heavy road, stuck in my heart. Take you to the ocean.
It's just being in the mountains with your friends. You don't have any radio, you don't have any television, you don't have any phones, tell stories, sing songs, go out and ski. That's what it's all about. Just enjoy nature as she is.
No matter what era you live in, you still appreciate the awe and beauty of nature.
There's this similarity that I see, and that is just the love for this thing we call skiing. And this whole week has been a celebration of just that, our love for skiing.
We all had the same interest in skiing, same interest in mountains, and that camaraderie has stayed with us all of our lives. We had pride in what we were, pride in what we accomplished.
The 10th Mountain Division played a unique and incomparable role in defeating the Axis powers during World War II. But their impact on the ski industry and anyone who has ever stepped in a pair of skis remains. The rigorous training was unlike any other experienced by United States military servicemen at the time. Besides the clothes and military-issued packs they hiked with, the men carried with them a courage and honor that has survived long past their duty. The pride of the 10th Mountain Division will forever hold a special place in the hearts of Icelandic riders. And their sacrifice is something that will be appreciated in the ski community forever.
The moral of the story, as you plainly see, is never trust a skier an inch above your knee. For I trusted one and now look at me. I've got a bastard son in the mountain infantry.
That's it for this edition of SnowMotion. Be sure to tune in next week for more action from the world of skiing. I'm Brenda Buglione. Keep carving those turns, and we'll see you on the slopes.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose, and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, we're climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easy?